The morning started with a jolt. No coffee, no eggs, not even a chance to scratch my beard or feed the chickens. "Drop the hay bale and put your hands where I can see them," someone barked. I was mid-squat, hauling a 40-pound bundle of alfalfa, when I turned to find myself staring at a neon-pink taser in the grip of a middle-aged woman dripping in pearls and a sun hat. Her expression could have soured milk. Beside her stood a guy who clearly wished he were anywhere else, clutching a clipboard and ankle-deep in goat muck. "You're in violation of Homeowners Association Regulation 42 unauthorized livestock with aggressive tendencies," she announced, like she was leading a SWAT team instead of hassling a guy on his own land. I blinked. "Ma'am, this isn't a subdivision. It's a ranch. And you're standing in goat sh," she cut me off. "You're under citizen's arrest." Ever have one of those moments where reality peels away and hovers above you, watching the chaos like a bad dream? That was me, staring as Linda's self-proclaimed HOA president from a neighborhood 50 miles away tried to zip-tie my wrists with cheap plastic cuffs while my goat, Daisy, nibbled her sundress hem. The guy next to her, Greg, was sweating buckets, obviously regretting every choice that landed him here. He opened his mouth to speak, but Linda's glare could have peeled paint. "He's got a non-compliant tractor, Greg, and that scarecrow's a safety hazard." Let me back up. I've owned this ranch for 15 years, built it from scratch after the city chewed me up and spat me out. I came here for peace, freedom, and silence broken only by the occasional 3 a.m. goat screech. The last thing I expected was a rogue suburban HOA staging a paramilitary raid. But apparently, the HOA from a development 40 minutes east had launched some satellite expansion scheme and, through dubious paperwork, claimed my ranch fell under their beautification initiative. I told her politely, for a rancher, that she was nuts and needed to leave before I called the real cops. She smirked. "I am the authority now. Greg, show him the map." Poor Greg fumbled with his clipboard, unveiling a toddler's masterpiece of highlighters and glitter glue. "As you can see," Linda jabbed a finger at it, "your property's under our jurisdiction due to its proximity to Pleasant Pines Phase 3. I glanced at the map. Pleasant Pines wasn't even on my power grid. "Linda, you're trespassing," I said, dropping the hay and stepping forward. That's when she brandished the taser. "One more step, and I'll neutralize," she shrieked, eyes blazing with suburban wrath. Right then, Daisy, curious, slightly feral goat, decided she'd had enough. With a triumphant bah, she launched off the porch, slamming into Greg's chest. He crumpled into the trough like a wet sack, clipboard flying into the mud. Linda screamed. I laughed. I grabbed my phone and called Deputy Tom. Tom and I go way back's the only lawman around who can tell a real issue from a city slicker meltdown. "Hey, Tom," I said casually, "swing by. Got a situation with zip ties, a taser, and an illegal HOA invasion." A pause. "Linda again?" he asked. "Worse," I said. "She's got paperwork this time." While we waited, Linda paced my yard like a general plotting war. "This is your final warning," she yelled. "Remove the unauthorized fencing, relocate the goats to an HOA-approved enclosure, and replace that scarecrow with one meeting our design template." I stared. "Ma'am, that scarecrow's wearing my old jeans and a cowboy hat. He's family." She ignored me, filming with her phone. "This is going on the HOA Facebook page. Greg, you better not be unconscious. We need witnesses." When Tom's cruiser rolled up, kicking up dust and goat pellets, I exhaled. Linda, though, squared her shoulders and waved him down like he was her valet. "Officer, arrest this man. He resisted a lawful citizen's arrest and endangered me with a violent animal." Tom leaned on his car door, glancing at me. "What did she say about Daisy?" "Violent animal," I replied. "Apparently, she's a weapon now." Tom turned to Linda. "Ma'am, you're on private property, and none of this is remotely legal." Linda thrust a stack of upside-down papers at him. "I have authority under HOA Expansion Clause 12, Sub C. It states I can act if the community's under aesthetic threat." Tom skimmed them and chuckled. "Ma'am, this is a takeout menu. And this? A birthday invite for some kid named Ethan." Linda's jaw dropped. Greg groaned from the trough. Daisy bleated vitoriously and hopped onto the porch like she'd won a medal. Tom looked at me, deadpan. "Want me to charge her with trespassing, or let the goats handle it?" I grinned. "Goats for now. But keep Ethan's invite tight. Sounds like a blast." Linda retreated, dragging a soggy Greg to their minivan under Tom's watch. But her glare at my porch, goats, and Scarecrow wasn't defeated with strategy. She'd be back. Inside, I sipped lukewarm coffee, Daisy chewing a glove by my boots. "Suburbanites'll be the death of me," I muttered. Little did I know, the HOA war had just begun. By noon the next day, the ranch was calm goat sunbathing, windmill creaking until tires crunched gravel. 3 sheriff's vehicles and a four-wheeler roared in, dodging cow pies like pros. I thought Tom was following up, but there stood Linda, arms crossed, lips pursed, sporting a red sash reading HOA Regional Commander, probably from Etsy. Greg limped behind her, still battered from Daisy's tackle. Linda pointed at me like a Roman emperor. "That's him, officers. He assaulted me with livestock and defied HOA protocol." Tom didn't flinch. "Ma'am, we covered this yesterday. This isn't your jurisdiction." Linda waved a rolled-up paper like a royal decree. "This revised said map from HOA Command redefines boundaries to include properties within 5 miles of any newsletter subscriber." I stepped forward. "So, because my neighbor 4 miles away clicked on your hedge-trimming email, you own my ranch?" Linda hissed at Greg, who produced a laminated sheet from a metal case fresh from an Office Depot printer. "This," she crowed, "is your final notice. Remove all goats, adjust your Scarecrow's threatening posture, and swap your mailbox for a regulation model, or we escalate to code red." Tom studied the paper, flipped it over. "Ma'am, this is a Burger King coupon." Linda snatched it, glaring at Greg as he fumbled more documents, muttering about sabotage and deep state goat lovers. A younger deputy whispered to Tom, "Is this real?" Tom didn't blink. "Real as a unicorn in a thrift store, kid." Linda marched to my porch, glaring at Daisy, now perched regally on a stump. "That animal assaulted my husband and disrupted an HOA initiative." Greg opened his mouth, then shut it. Linda pressed on. "I'm invoking Article 7, stand your lawn." She said it with biblical fervor. Tom raised an eyebrow. "What's stand your lawn?" Linda's eyes blazed. "Our right to defend community standards from hostile architecture, rogue livestock, and excessive porch decor." Just then, my horseshoe wind chime clanged in the breeze. Linda flinched like it had slapped her. "See? Hostile decor. I'd had enough. You trespassed, tried to arrest me, waved a taser at my goats, and now my wind chime's aggressive?" Linda stepped closer. "Exactly." That's when Daisy struck bolting off her stump, kicking up dust and flattening Linda. She landed on her clipboard like a conquering hero. The young deputy gasped. Greg sighed and sat by the trough, broken. Tom helped Linda up, brushing hay off her hat. "Ma'am, leave now, or I'll file a trespassing report. Your HOA games'll turn into real trouble." Linda adjusted her sash, shot me a venomous look, and marched to the van. But she didn't leave. She climbed atop it, declaring, "We're staging a peaceful protest against goat tyranny. Greg, get the signs." Greg hauled out posters. "Mow lawns, not freedom. Goat-free is the way to be," and my favorite, "Make scarecrows friendly again." Tom and his team set up cones around the protest. Linda paced, shouting, "We'll stay until our demands are met." Greg gets heat stroke. Eventually, Tom filed a trespassing warning and a citation for illegal signage. Linda called it oppression, accusing Tom of big goat collusion. Daisy stole Greg's Weissor, prancing off triumphantly. By dusk, Linda was escorted off. Greg wore a traffic cone as a hat, and Daisy's disruptive but majestic status was official. I sipped tea on the porch, watching the dust settle. Tom tipped his hat. "She's not done." I nodded. "She's got more clipboard pages. Next time, it's the full HOA cavalry." We glanced at Daisy, now sporting Greg's Weissor, chewing a sign. "She's a treasure," I muttered. The war was far from over. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment. See you next time.